was an awesome week of Maildays. I had a card show on Saturday. Who's ready to see some Hall of Famers? Hey everyone, welcome back to Collecting America's Pastime. Kyle here. Hope you guys are having a great Friday night. I am watching the Indians here on my tablet for the first time in I don't know how long. Bally Sports, the regional carrier for the Indians, doesn't have a contract with YouTube TV, so I have been SOL for this season, and it absolutely blows. Hope that changes next year, and when hopefully we're healthy and can be good. Honestly, I think the Indians are going to be good for quite some time, assuming they can stay healthy. So just love the way they have their roster constructed, young guys, and they have one of the lowest payrolls in baseball, so they should be able to afford these guys at contracts that they're worth, not Lindor, who was overrated and did not deserve the $300-some million contract he got. Just my opinion. Anyways, I've had a great week for the collection, picked up quite a few Hall of Famers, and it's been a good time. I went to my first card show since before COVID. It was the Hartville Flea Market show in the Akron, Ohio area. It's this huge outdoor and indoor flea market that they have, and they had a card show this weekend. So met up with two friends from the hobby. First one, Stan from Stan's Vintage Sports Cards. I'm sure many of you have seen him at any major show. He is one of the best in the game. Super nice, funny, great to talk to, can work a booth like no other, knows his stuff. It's just incredible to watch him work. So I'll link his website in the description below so you guys can check him out, put a name to a face. And like I said, I'm sure you guys have seen him. So I bought two cards from him. The first was a T206 Jakeckley. I had one of these last year before I did my sell-off, and it was one of the ones I obviously sold off because it's common. T206s in general are quite common for the most part, and it's all relative, but compared to other pre-war sets, they are quite common. And I'm trying to fill my set or fill my project and collection with diversity and variety and more scarcity. And T206s just don't offer that if that's all you have for Hall of Famers. And there's quite a few Hall of Famers in that set, obviously. However, Jakeckley, he does not have too many other issues. I think he has maybe like a W600. I think he has a fan craze. I forget what else he has. Maybe an M101 Sporting News supplement, something like that. But he doesn't have too much else other than the T206s. And he, in the other sets, if I were to be patient to find one, I'd be breaking the bank to buy one. So kind of told myself just go with the T206, especially at the price. Appreciate Stan for the price and making a deal. He's awesome. I think he has some ink staining on it, and it doesn't bother me. Again, I'm going for lower grade anyways, so it's just a great card and another Hall of Famer off. 1939 Playball Archie Vaughan, Floyd Archie Vaughan. This card is Archie has some sets in the 30s, and I believe maybe early 40s. Don't really have a preference on any of them, so I was just looking for anything that was affordable, good, decent condition, good eye appeal, stuff like that. This play ball is awesome. It's not trimmed. I don't believe it is miscut. I did not bring a ruler. That's a pro tip, by the way. Anytime you go to a card show or are buying cards in person, and they come from any sort of set that could possibly be trimmed, a lot of pre-war has the potential to be trimmed due to that's just how people treated cards back then, or how, there is corruption in the hobby, obviously, so people want to improve the condition, so they'll trim a card slightly and make it look nicer. Don't do that. But bring a ruler, have the measurements written down for the set or in your phone, anything like that. That way you can just reference them real quick, measure it. You can basically tell right then and there. It doesn't, if it measures correctly, it doesn't always mean it's not trimmed, but it does lessen the percentage or the chance by a lot. So could be like an oversized border previously that they trimmed down to regular size, and it looks better, looks perfectly centered or whatever, but it's, it could still be trimmed, but typically it's not. So anyways, this one is not trimmed. I don't believe. I held it up to the other 1939 play balls that were in the stack, and it measured perfectly up against those. So it's just a beautiful card. Great image. Love the photos. I'm more of a photo guy than artistic drawing person or lithograph, whatever they're called, from like the T206s, caramels, etc. But anything pre-war is pretty awesome. So those two from Stan, really appreciate Stan. Always good seeing you, and thanks for helping me with the project. The other person I met up with was Troy. Troy and I have known each other since I think the 2017 year, 2017-2018. We met in 2018 at the Cleveland National. Both Troy and Stan are from Ohio. Troy's from the central Ohio area, and Stan is from the Cleveland area, about 20 minutes from me. So they're both pretty local. Troy comes up for a lot of Northeast Ohio shows, so he and I always have some good times. Excuse me. The 2018 National especially produced some good memories. He was buying a cigarette pack or tobacco pack from the early 19th century or 1900s, and the dealer was at one price and Troy was at another price. Troy said, here, flip a coin. If it lands on whatever you call, it's your price. Otherwise, it's my price. It landed on Troy's price. Great interaction. It was just a good time. So I also peer pressured Troy into buying his first T206. He said he would first never buy a T206. Second, never build the set, and then now it is, not only did he buy a T206, he has built a T206 set since then, and now he's putting together one heck of a overall grade for the set. So I think he's working on another T206 set on top of that. So pretty crazy collection he has. Really awesome guy. Really appreciate our friendship. We went to Chipotle afterwards and talked for quite a bit, and lots going on in each of our lives, and good to catch up. So really good guy. He hit me up before the show. Obviously, he let me know he was coming, and he asked for me for my spreadsheet, and then checked it out, found out that he has a card that I have or that I need, and said, I have a surprise for you. That happened to be a 1913 National Game Huey Jennings for me to buy. Awesome card. Love the National Game set. Been eyeing it for a couple different players. Huey Jennings was not one that I was eyeing it for. That doesn't mean I don't like it, any less. Just he has so many examples that I wasn't actually after a specific example for Huey Jennings. Really, any of them worked because most of his cards were just awesome. This one is no exception. National Game cards, obviously being game cards, a little bit higher grade overall typically, and this one's a PSA 8, different pace for my collection, which is really awesome, and again, love the photos, so thank you very much, Troy, really appreciate it. Both Stan and Troy, good catching up with you. Hope to see you guys at the shows that are up this way, I think in October and November, I believe, so hopefully we can catch up more of them. I've had a couple mail days, and unexpected mail days, I should say. With the way my collection is shifting and how I want to kind of build the Hall of Fame Project 2.0, is, more diversity, more variety, and more scarcity. And that is exactly what I'm doing. And I'm trying to be more patient and opportunistic. However, it was a very opportunistic week. So we'll start it off with the 1913 Parker Brothers Nap Lashway. This is from the Parker Brothers baseball game. I forget the full name or official name of it, but it's basically a board/card game. Nap Lashway is very prominent on the back of these cards. It comes in a red tint and a blue tint. The blue tint is more rare than the red tint, but they're the same image. I bought this for $25, $27, something like that. I think shipped too. So if you want a period correct Nap Lashway from his playing days, 1913 Parker Brothers game card. You can also just type in, I think my search was 1913 Nap Lashway. Basically, that's what will come up most of the time. They are pretty obtainable, and again, that's a crazy price because most Nap Lashways are easily $100 or more. I mean, most of them are $300-$400 or more now. So any of his mainstream stuff. So love this card. Knocks Nap off my list for right now. I'll upgrade him at some point. It's not my favorite card of his, but I do love the image. I need to look up to see what stadium or what ballpark he's in. I don't know if that's League Park or not. I need to check that. But anyways, love the image, and it's Nap Lashway. So the next one, 1922 W575-1. Stan Kovalevsky. I already have a Stan Kovalevsky. I have a 1921 or 22 American Caramel. It's like an E120 or something like that. Stan Kovalevsky. This one came from a friend. Actually, this one plus three of the next four. Excuse me. Came from a good friend Jeff from Facebook group Tobacco Row. Jeff's a great guy. We had some fun conversations, but anyways, this one came from him. I bought the three out of the next four that are from him. I bought all at once, and then after he shipped those, he posted the stand for sale, and I knew he had the Kovalevsky, but because I already had it, I didn't really inquire about it. And he posted it, and like the price was less than I was expecting, so. I instantly told him I sold, and he shipped it PWE, which is plain white envelope. For those who don't know, basically just an envelope instead of a padded envelope. But he shipped it. The reason why I bought it was Stan Kovalevsky is very hard to find. He's not a very sought after player from a popularity standpoint. He's sought after from a scarcity standpoint. He does not come up for sale too often. He's in quite a few early 20s American Caramel sets, but other than that, I mean, and even in those sets, he doesn't come up for sale very often. So eventually, I will do a Cleveland team run of all the pre-war sets I can, and I don't know when I'll have another chance to buy a Kovalevsky from this set. So that's why I bought it, and it's a great card. It's the same image I think from my other Caramel. But that's okay. So I think he also has 1927 York, and he is probably in like the Yingling's ice cream sets. I don't know, but I know he's in the York Caramel in 1927. So he definitely has some cards. Just they don't come up for sale very often. So. The next one is a 1922 W575-1 Ray Shulk, the bunting post. So same set as the Kovalevsky. This one also came from Jeff. I sold a I think it actually might have been a W575, or it was an E120, somewhere in there, and it was in his catching gear. I sold one of those last year. I think it was a Caramel from one of the 1920s E series. Anyways, sold it last year, and needed another one. Got into this. Shulk has quite a few cards. He's not overly scarce, but he does have some great images, and this one's a great image. So I had the catching before, now I have the bunting pose that he's in a lot of sets for, and another Hall of Famer off the list. 1922 Nielsen's Chocolate Type 2, V61-2 as it's cataloged. Harry Heilmann. Heilmann is one like Kovalevsky. He is more scarce. I believe he's a bit more popular too. He's from some great Tigers teams that had Cobb on them as both a player and a manager. Heilmann's not easy to come around to. He has some late teens cards, excuse me, some early 20s caramel cards, and not much else. And again, he doesn't come up for sale very often. I had a Heilmann previously. It was a strip card, and it was awful. Horrible image, not great condition. So, and I bought this I bought this in a lot. It was a lot of 8 Nielsen's chocolates, and I did not want all 8 of them. I just wanted the Heilmann. But somebody already beat me in the post to, if you break up the set, I'm interested in the Heilmann. I did not want to risk losing out on this, and I bought all 8, and am working on selling. I have sold 2. I'm working on selling the other 5. So if anybody's interested, let me know. Shoot me an email or drop me a comment, a message, whatever. I can send you some pictures of them. They're all commons, and they're all awful condition, or I shouldn't say awful, low-grade condition, but the price also reflects that. So let me know if you're interested, but figured, hey, I can sell off the rest, whatever's the difference is in what I sell them for versus what I bought them for. That's what I paid for the Heilmann, and I'm pretty sure it'll be a pretty good price of what I paid for the Heilmann when all is said and done. So love this card, love the image. This is, and I'm pretty sure it's Type 2. I don't know that for certain, but it is a darker kind of cardboard. I think the Type 1 is a lighter cardboard, so typically. Next up, we have a 1927 Exhibits Fredlindstrom. Exhibits are quickly becoming my favorite set of all time. Any of the 20s exhibits, really. Love how big they are. Love the image. Love, they're just awesome cards. They're also relatively, scarce, and they provide a lot of variety. So this is my first one from the 20s. Ooh, might not be. I think I have a heart in it, which I haven't showcased on the channel yet, but I don't want to say that. So 1927 Exhibits Fredlindstrom. I used to have a 33 Gaudy, got out of that last year, and into a scarcer, earlier version, Fredlindstrom. That one also came from Jeff. Thank you very much, Jeff. Lastly, from the pre-war, Maildays, 1922 Exhibits Billy Evans. So Jeff and I were talking about the Shulk and the Lindstrom when we were doing a deal, and he bought this lot from an auction house, and basically, I don't want to say he gave me first dibs, but he was like, hey, I have these, check out this lot, here's a list, let me know if you want to see any pictures of anything, if you need them for your project. So the Shulk and the Lindstrom stuck out, and then there were some other exhibits, and one of them was a Bill Clem, 1922 Exhibits Bill Clem, 21 Exhibits Bill Clem, one of the two. Very rare card, Hall of Fame umpire. They don't come up for sale very often at all. And because I already had it, I wasn't really looking for it, so the name didn't stick out. Is that going to play to run? Nice. 4-0 Indians. So the name didn't stick out, so I wasn't looking for it. And then there was a 22 Exhibits Evans, and that one might be even more rare than the Clem. I'm not sure. Billy Evans is a Hall of Fame umpire, and this is his only card. The other exhibits for the Clem is also his only card. So I didn't really, at first glance, it didn't stick out to me that, hey, you need this card. So we're talking about the Shulk and the Lindstrom, and then he's talking to me about some of the other cards he has that he needs to sell. And he comes to me sometimes on Hall of Famers because I obviously with my collection and my focus, his focus is more like T206s. He does a lot of EPD G backs. Nice 5-0 Indians. They're playing the Angels. Ohtani is not pitching, obviously. So, but he comes to me for a lot of information on the non-mainstream sets in pre-war, and we were talking, and he goes, look up Clem and Evans, and I was like, wait, Clem, Evans, no way, you have these? And I said, I don't care what the price is, name your price, send me the Evans, I'll take it, after he sent me a picture. Because, again, these don't come up for sale. I think the last public sale I've seen posted on PWCC Market Price Research or Card Target was 2018. So, and that was before I was even looking for this. So I've never actually seen one of these for sale, at least by itself. And so bought it, and I love this card. Absolutely love it. Great image, super scarce, fits the bill, needed it, done. The last two, 2020 Negro League Legends, Effa Manley and Composy. I have an Alex Pompez coming as well. I actually just messaged the eBay seller because I'm not sure where it is. It should have arrived by today, and it was not my mailbox. I think he sent them PWE, which is fine. They're cheap cards, but just sucks because those are harder to track. So, but the cool thing about these, so Alex Pompez and Composy, prior to this set, they only had one other card, and it was their Hall of Fame plaque from 2006 when they were inducted. And every single Hall of Famer has a Hall of Fame postcard or plaque postcard. So they don't really interest me if I can avoid them. So they didn't have a card before this set. So now that they have these cards, I bought them. They were a couple bucks a piece. The Effa Manley does have a card. 1996, also a Negro League Legends card. It's like a playing card. I think it's like a 9 of diamonds or something like that. Very rare card. Very expensive as well if you do come across one. So I was really happy when I found out that they produced this set with Effa Manley because I didn't want to spend a whole lot. She died in the 80s, I think 81 or something like that. So the 1996 card was also from her, post playing days. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. My brother-in-law works out in my home gym and was leaving, so saying goodbye. Anyways, Manley died prior to the 1996 card, so it doesn't even fit the bill for what I collect for players that, if it's playing days, perfect. If they don't have a card in the playing days, do they have a card when they were alive? And if not, then I just go with my favorite modern card of them. So this fit the bill, again, super cheap, and there's another one knocked off. So I didn't pull the numbers on my spreadsheet prior to this video, so I apologize for that, but you can go back to 2 videos ago, pull up the link to my spreadsheet if you want to see the update on my total count. I do have less than 100 to go until I have every single Hall of Famer, but that less than 100 might as well be 1 million to go because some of these cards are either super expensive or never available. So is what it is. But thank you very much for watching. I have some more coming. It'd be another awesome Mail Day video here soon. And yeah, so hope you guys have a great night. Enjoy your weekend. And as always, live free, dream big. Talk to you later.